Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Ithaqwa's Bane bringing you gaming goodness, and we are back with WRAITHOUND by cezarcapacle, a ghost hunting paranormal research game in a gothic horror sort of fantasy setting. In the previous videos, we had an overview of the game. We created our character, who is Aylwyn Duskgrove the Blessed. We also generated the location that we are going to be investigating, and it is Sunstone Manor, a radiant estate built from shimmering light reflective stone. Then we had the start of our playthrough, and the first video, I think we did level 1, which was the dining room. And with the dining room, we actually found a secret room which led us up to level 2. The second gameplay video, we did level 2, which was the sunroom, the game room, and the meeting room. Another thing I need to mention is that this sort of playmat, I asked Cezar whether there was one for the physical game. This is essentially a sort of a copy of the VTT kind of background. And I think he actually put this together for me, and maybe I can get him to add this to the PDF downloads that you get when you purchase the game. So I have prepared the pages. So we're going to be starting in room C today, the first room of level 3. Then we got room B, and then the boss room A. Now we will be rolling on a separate table for the boss when we meet them. Also, because we are at level 3, we're going to be rolling on the level 3, looking at the level 3 tables. Right. So we are ready to begin. So let's start with our first room, going back to the grid. Right, our first room on level 3. We ascend the stairs from behind the meeting room. We come up to the top level of Sunstone? I forget the name. Yeah, Sunstone Manor. Right, so we picked up the cards. Now again, the way that we laid out the cards, or we prepared the cards, is the first 2 cards are red, the third is black. First red card is going to be the room. Second red card is the curiosity, or the interesting thing that's happening in the room. And then the third card is the black card, which represents the threat or the horror. So we'll put them together because we don't want to ruin any surprises. We turn them all over, and we get the Ace of Diamonds, and that's going to tell us the room we are in. So we go to level 3, and it is the Ace of Diamonds, the ballroom, elegance and escape, a dance of joy and custom. So we've put that in our little notebook here, the ballroom, elegance and escape, a dance of joy. Okay, so we're in a ballroom, so this is probably going to be a larger room than the others, where people obviously are going to be dancing, mixing with other personages. Now we want to find out what is the curiosity. And again, for the curiosity, we are going to be looking at the level 3 results. So let's go and find out what we've got. Back to the grid. All right, let's pick up the cards. And the curiosity is, another ace. Got 2 aces. Now again, if this was on the level 1 or level 2, this could mean that there could possibly be a secret room. Right, Ace of Hearts for the curiosity. Right, what have we got for the curiosities? Just make sure that's still in camera. Yeah, there you go. Right, Ace of Hearts. Echoing footsteps resonate in the quiet. It says here, from what are they fleeing? Now I'm thinking that maybe they're not fleeing. Maybe it's actually footsteps of the dancers, the dance steps, as people, maybe it's like a residual effect, a residual haunting in this room kind of thing, where you've got the sound of the people as they were dancing and sort of spinning around the room and walking around the room. I think that kind of makes a little bit more sense for a ballroom, yeah? So I'm thinking that as I walk up the stairs from the meeting room, or from behind the meeting room, up to the 3rd floor, I open these large doors into this sort of very flamboyant, although very dusty and sort of abandoned ballroom. Maybe this manor is not actually occupied. It hasn't been occupied for a while. And I'm actually hearing like this residual, like a residual ghost of a sound of the people who were actually dancing up here before. But now It's not all going to be all flowers and chocolates and roses and everything, because we're now going to have some kind of threat or horror. Because what we're looking at in this game are the rooms that are haunted, or the rooms that are interesting and could potentially give us clues. Not the boring rooms. We don't look at those ones. Right, let us find out what the threat or horror is. And for that, we are going to look at the third and last card, which is a joker. Oh, okay. Now, this, I think, is the black joker. Now, in here, there are two jokers, a black and a red. Now, in this particular deck of cards, it's not very easy to kind of recognize between them, the black and the red joker. But I think this is the black one. The red one has like a red character in the bottom here. But the red joker will probably be in here somewhere. But yes, okay, so with the joker, you don't actually have a threat or horror. You discover a boss clue, something that will help you, or maybe kind of evolve your story to a conclusion in terms of the boss. It could also maybe give you some information about who they are, what can hurt them, kind of thing. So the first joker that you find will give you some information regarding the motivation. Why is it here? The second joker, if you find a second joker, it will give you information regarding the weakness of the creature and the boss. And to kind of generate that information, you use the open question oracle to create another kind of prophecy. And from that, you'll kind of use your narrative or creativity to come up with either the motivation or the weakness of the boss. Then we get to place the joker on the power pile. Now, I'm going to do that first. I'm going to put that on the power pile before I forget. But yes, so we are now going to generate a open question oracle, or the sort of the oracle prophecies, as we call them, the cryptic clues. And that should, I'm going to use that to try and develop what I think is the motivation of the creature. Right, so with the open question oracle, we're going to be following this again like we did before. You're going to be rolling up 6 words, putting them into this kind of sentence. Verb, the adjective, noun, connector, the noun, that verb. Sounds good, right? Now, in the previous 2 that we've done in this game, in this playthrough, they've both talked about enriching the water. Now, let's see if we get something different, or whether that prophecy really is pushing something important and it's going to repeat itself again. Let us find out. So we are going to be rolling D66, white always first, unless I say otherwise. So let's generate the first word, which is going to be a verb. We get a 1-4, uncover. Right, so uncover the, adjective, a 4-6. Uncover the eternal. Now, this noun, if this noun is water again, I know that I'm onto something, right? We get a 6-5, language. Uncover the eternal language. Okay, so it's not about the water this time, but I'm thinking that here, this oracle is being used to focus on the boss creature itself, yeah? The other 2 times, I think I was focusing on the sort of the haunting, the location, and maybe that's why the prophecy is not repeating itself again, yeah? So I think I'm probably still on the right track regarding the water. Right, uncover the eternal language, right? What's the connector? The connector is 1-6. Beneath the 1-5. Mystery. Verb 5-3. Casts. Okay, well, it's internal, uncovered the eternal language. Now, I mean, when you talk about a universal language, or I mean, eternal possibly, I mean, Hebrew is considered to be is known as the eternal language, but I don't think that's relevant here in like a fantasy setting. But if we're talking about kind of universal languages, which could possibly also mean eternal, we do have music and maths, which are both mentioned and talked about as being kind of universal languages. I'm thinking that this may have something to do with music and maths, or maybe that's how I can find out something relating to the motivation. Because the thing is, we are in a ballroom. where there was music, not necessarily maths. So maybe I'm going down the wrong path with maths, but maybe music is the key. Beneath the mystery that casts. Now this is a ballroom, so maybe there is some kind of musical instrument that's still functioning in here. But what would I play? Maybe the echoing footsteps resonate. Maybe they're actually, if I listen closely, maybe the footsteps have some kind of rhythm that I can replicate in terms of the musical instrument, and maybe that will do something. The thing is that the first joker we find is supposed to be their motivation. So maybe we'll find something that they're looking for. Maybe they'll be beneath the mystery that casts. So maybe if I play the instruments, if I can find one that is, okay, let's use the oracle. Is there a functioning musical instrument in this room? Yes. I don't really want to say no because I want there to be a musical instrument. So I'm thinking that, oh yes, no, whatever. So come on, a tie. So a tie with an oracle means the most logical answer, a third unexpected answer, or an ambiguous result between both options. Logical answer, I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking that there will be some kind of working musical instrument in here. There'll be a bunch of instruments that probably won't work. But I'm thinking that there will be maybe a harpsichord or something similar to that. I then want to try to listen to the footsteps to see if there is some kind of rhythm or some kind of tune that I could probably replicate. Now, I don't actually have anything written about my character that says that maybe I am a musician, that I can play instruments. There isn't anything that kind of says that I can or can't do that. So again, this is one of the elements where you can manipulate your character, maybe add or take away a truth, one of these things. Maybe I can play at a very basic level instrument. So I'm going to put this down here as a new truth. Maybe I have a basic ability to play maybe piano style instruments. So things like accordions, mandolin. I think mandolin is a guitar. Harpsichord, I think, is a style of piano. But maybe I have the basic ability to play. I'm not an expert. I can't do symphonies and things like that. But I've got a very basic level of training. Maybe as a kid I learned. So I'm thinking that maths is a key here. So I'm going to try to replicate the song, and I'm thinking that maybe that will reveal somewhere that has maybe something the spirit or the ghost or the boss actually wants. And maybe I can use my trinket, a smooth oval stone casting intricate shadow patterns. Maybe I can also place that, and that can also help me to see a place where maybe cracks are, or maybe the angles are not quite correct, which could help me to identify like a hiding spot or sort of a false floor or a false panel or something beneath the mystery. Yeah, so maybe it's in the floor somewhere. I want this to be automatic, but I think I'm still going to have to roll for it. Now, I think when you get a joker, I don't think you actually have to do the threat, horror, rolling, everything else, but I think it kind of fits the story of the room. So I think I'm playing the harpsichord and everything else. Maybe, okay, so on a white, if the white dice is higher, maybe I play the tune, or I do the rhythm on the instrument, and I can see with the aid of my trinket, the stone, there's a slight variation in the light on one area of the floor, which could possibly mean like a loose floorboard or a hidey hole. I think for the black, maybe the stone cracks and is not able to be used anymore. The music and everything, maybe I don't know, but maybe they didn't tell me, or maybe the order doesn't know, but maybe this opal stone, this trinket, has maybe a limited number of uses. So maybe if I roll the black dice, maybe the stone cracks and can't be used anymore. I think that kind of fits the story. So, but either way, I think we're going to find the location. What do we get? Okay, cool. So the white dice is higher. So we managed to replicate the song, and with the help of the opal stone, sort of putting out shadows and light, we actually see there's an area of the floor that is different. The stone's fine. We lift the piece of the floor, and we find an item inside. What could be in there? Now, I've got to think in terms of trying to link all this together in terms of, the investigation and the clues and, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Maybe it's an acorn, but it is a corrupted. No, maybe it's not the corruption. It's not the cause of the corruption. Maybe this acorn glows with a very faint yellow light, because this is the Sunstone Manor, and there was a large tree outside that I said was either oak or elm. So it's probably going to be oak, I think, that's bleeding this red sap. So maybe one of the acorns from that tree actually has some kind of magical, what's the word, duima? Aura, maybe. And maybe this oracle is what I need to take to the river or this underground stream in order to get rid of the blight. Actually, maybe in the first room, the dining room, we actually found that small glass box with a lid. Maybe that was just the right size to actually hold an acorn of this size. So maybe that glass box, maybe I'll pick that glass box up on the way out, and maybe that acorn fits inside that box, and that is like a protective container for the acorn. So that links the box together with it. Oh, okay, so we've got elements of the story coming together. We've got the tree, we've got an acorn that's maybe been blessed and hidden from the creatures in the house. And maybe that glass box that didn't smash with everything else is the container that holds the acorn so that we can take it and put it into the river and get rid of this corruption. Oh, okay. The story's making some kind of sense. So we uncover the eternal language. We use the music beneath the mystery that casts. Okay, so we've got to cast it. Okay, yes. So I think that kind of works. So we found a acorn under the, okay, let me write this down. Right, so I've just put here, after playing music in time with the dancing footsteps, we find a hidden acorn under the floor in a sort of a space. The acorn glows faint yellow because I think that links with the house, the Sunstone Manor. It has an aura. To cure the river or stream, question mark. And I've also put on my character here that we have this blessed acorn, and I need to get the glass box from the dining room, I think, when I leave, because I'm thinking that maybe to cure or to get rid of the blight of the river, to get rid of the curse of the river, I actually have to go somewhere else to do that. That could actually be possibly mission 2. So, okay, that's kind of making the story make sense. Okay, so we are done. So we've put the black card onto the power stack. Let's go back to the grid. So the Joker's in there. Now, a good thing about having the Joker in the power pile is you can actually use it during the boss fight to reverse a bad roll. We still need to face the boss and overcome him so that at least he can't thwart my plans later on. So we are going to be moving from the ballroom, and we are going to be moving to this location here, this room here, which is going to be B. If we look at my little layout here. So we're going to room area B, and we're now going to reveal the cards and find out where we are. So